For many people, the COVID-19 pandemic has passed and is not given much thought or news coverage. Yet there's a growing number of people who have reported symptoms that have never left them. Many of them have had these symptoms for years. The Office of National Statistics estimates that over 2 million Britons have long COVID. You may have it, or you may know someone who is struggling with it. My name is Paul, and I've been debilitated by long COVID since January 22. In this podcast, I'm going to share my journey and things I've experienced along the way. My aim is not to give medical advice. I'm certainly not qualified to do that. But I've been gaslit, ridiculed and dismissed for my symptoms, and I know it can be a very lonely place to be. It's an invisible illness, and I just want people to know that they're not alone. Welcome to the podcast Life with Long COVID. My name is Paul Clark. I'm the podcast host. If you've not downloaded one of these episodes or listened to one of these episodes, welcome. There's a whole raft of episodes that you can go back on and listen to again. And also there's a website, www.lifewithlongcovid.co.uk. There you will find past articles and also past podcast episodes as well, although you can get the podcasts wherever you normally listen to your podcasts from. You can also subscribe. You can do that for free, or if you want to support my work, you can choose to pay a small amount every month, but it's not essential. You get the same experience whether you subscribe or not. And last but not least, while we're doing the whole commercial thing, you can buy my book, Life of Long COVID. It's on Amazon by Paul Clark and Paul Ian Clark. You just search for it, you'll find it. And that is about my experiences with long COVID. I'm also writing a follow-up to that book as well, called Still Living with Long COVID. 3 and a bit years later. That's due to come out later on this year. So, welcome. That's the commercial bit out the way. I'm joined, as I often am, by my significant other, Rachel Clark.
Hello. Who
brings her experience of caring for somebody with long COVID, and also the person that knows me best and the person that sees me struggle or not every single day. Rachel, today, I'll kind of launch this on you, but today I want to talk about fatigue, chronic fatigue, and how it's perceived by other people.
Yes.
But I suppose I should start by trying to explain what chronic fatigue is for me. And so, listening, you may well suffer from chronic fatigue. It's probably, I would say, the main symptom of long COVID, although there are many others. It's certainly the most troubling symptom for me. And I always liken it, I think the best comparison is the battery one. So most of us have got mobile phones, and we're annoyed when we run out of battery on our mobile phones. And most of us, apart from seemingly our teenage children, will charge them overnight and leave them charged. So when you wake up in the morning, you've got 100% charge. And if you've got a phone with a big enough capacity, it'll get you through the day.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what the manufacturers claim. I would say chronic fatigue is like, if you imagine we've got a battery inside of us and it's faulty.
Yeah, so I've had a phone that you charged it to 100%, but by midday it had run out of charge. It's very annoying.
Yeah. And some days you wake up and you can't trust how much battery you've got there. So you may wake up and think, I feel good today. I've got 100% battery. I'm good to go. Yet, like your example, you run out by 10 o'clock because your battery's faulty. Other days you'll wake up and you'll know for a fact that you're on 20%. And whatever you do that day, you're going to run out of energy, probably by having a shower.
Gosh.
And of course, this is variable throughout the day. It can change. But what doesn't seem to happen is you can't really recharge it very well at all. Like, I might have a sleep in the afternoon. I might have a quick nap. Doesn't really recharge the battery at all. If it does, you gain a few percent if you're lucky. And I've been known to do that. So that's my best, I think my best way of describing. If you've got a better way, then let me know if you're listening to describe your chronic fatigue.
So that's interesting, because I work in the mental health sector, and I would speak a lot with clients about recharging and what does recharge you. Like, does a walk recharge you? Does reading a book charge you? Just having a nap, whatever it is, and it's different for each person. But what you're saying is almost you've got a faulty charger as well.
Faulty battery, faulty charger.
And however much you plug in to whatever that helps you, there's nothing that really can get you going.
We've all had phones where you plug in, it does nothing.
Yeah, so it's more like that.
Maybe just gets a bit overheated. It does nothing. The percentage doesn't go up at all.
Yeah, because people can be really tired. I used to do 15-hour shifts of sleeping and 15-hour shifts. I was really tired.
And that brings me to the next, is other people's perceptions of this. So I have it almost on a weekly occurrence, and from people that know me really well, and they'll say, how tired are you feeling today? Are you feeling tired? Perhaps you just need a sleep. Perhaps you need better sleep at night. Chronic fatigue is not the same as tiredness.
No.
Like, I still get tired, and tired by different things. If I don't get very good at sleep, I'll be tired. But chronic fatigue is not contingent on how much sleep you've had. It doesn't seem to be. You can be fatigued and tired at the same time.
Oh gosh.
So chronic fatigue is deep, extreme tiredness. It's like when you wake up, what I liken it to, as well as a battery metaphor, is somebody during the night has like hoovered out your energy.
Gosh.
and taken it away from you, so you don't have the kind of energy to do much at all, and therefore everything seems like a massive uphill struggle. Now, I can be tired, like if I walk down the street, I'll be tired, physically tired. I can be mentally tired, and just by reading a page in a book. But that's different to fatigue. And I think it's not people's fault, because we use that word interchangeably, but it's not interchangeable as far as chronic fatigue is concerned. And it leads to many misconceptions, I think, for those with chronic illness, because people think that you can just, like, have a little nap and get on with life. They honestly think it's like drink more water.
Yeah.
You know, all the advice
and all
you
those
normally
things
give.
are good for you anyway. Yeah.
All those things you normally would advise somebody who is a bit tired. It doesn't work with long COVID. And yes, I have to drink water. Yes, I have to do all those good things.
So can you tell me how it feels? Like, how does it feel in your head when you're feeling fatigued?
In my head, it's like...
Can you use a metaphor?
Yeah, a metaphor. Maybe it's like a weighted blanket over your head all the time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, so you know these weighted blankets you get, which are unusually heavy.
Yeah.
It's like being smothered in that all of the time, and it dulls your senses.
Weight on there, yeah.
It's a massive weight on your brain and it affects your brain. Like, so, just thinking about stuff it makes you weary. So
you've got this weighted blanket on your head, and what about in your body?
It's the same. Everything's like weighed down. So
there's weights on you. So if you were drawing a picture, it would be like there'd be loads of weights on you.
You'd be like cocooned in this heavy blanket, I think, and therefore it's really hard to do anything and think anything. Yeah. So that it's physical and mental.
So cocoon's a good word, isn't it? If you think about a caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
Yeah.
So it's like almost, and you're just a goo.
And you start the day like that.
Yeah.
And it's and you know, you've seen me. So there's days when I've got a bit of energy and I can do things fine, but there's also days when I have to go up and downstairs on my hands and knees or upstairs because everything just feels so heavy. I can't possibly put a foot in front of the other without extreme effort.
So I'm thinking of like, you know, like heavy weights like attached to you, like even weights you get in the gym.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, just like holding you down physically. And is that your whole body?
Yeah.
You feel so physically. And on your head as well, this weighted blanket.
Yeah, so the wheelchair, for example, helps with the heaviness.
Yeah, of course.
But and in some ways it helps the mentalness. But the mental side to it is what I suppose I've heard best described as a foggy brain, but really I think that's caused by the fatigue. And that is like I can't read anything, I can't talk to anyone for long when I'm like that because I just zone out. And like I've been talking to good friends of ours who know my condition, they understand it and they get it as much as they can. And like when we're on holiday with them, I'll be talking to them and I'll be fully engaged in the subject that we're talking about, and I'll be interested in the subject we're talking about, and I'll just hit a massive brick wall where the energy battery's gone, and then what happens is my brain just stops. Like I can't do it. I'm socially, mentally not able to take part in that conversation anymore, so I just glaze over.
So I think that's really important for you to be able to describe that, like in pictures. So I've never really understand that before, and I think it might be helpful for the listener to think about what metaphor they would use. They might use the same metaphor as you, because that's really helped me as your partner to understand how it really feels.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because you've said about the battery, and you kind of understand that, because sometimes a normal person without chronic fatigue can feel like their batteries run out.
Forget to charge it, right?
But usually you don't feel like all these weights on you.
No, and I think in writing my second book, I've tried to hone in on more about how it feels to have long COVID, because there's plenty of medical explanations for it and plenty of medical advice, and it's fantastic. But what I want to do is people to be able to relate with how they're feeling, because if you didn't know you had long COVID, you can get accused of being lazy.
Yeah,
like people's perceptions of you will be, oh, he's lazy, he's lethargic, he can't be bothered, he's lightweight, and I've had all of these accusations leveled against me, and that really hurts, because anybody who really knows me knows that I'm historically been the most unlethargic person ever, and actually statistically people with long COVID are usually those people who were doers. They usually had a job which was high pressure, or at least something quite energetic, and all of a sudden they've been robbed of that energy.
Yeah, there's a lot of nurses, isn't there, and doctors. Obviously they were exposed to long COVID, but also these were people that were working long shifts in a
incredibly hard working.
Yeah, and having to think and be physically active for the whole of their 12-hour, 14-hour shift.
So to be accused of being lazy, which if I've had it, other people have had it, and you may have had it, listening to this, is not just insulting, it's really upsetting. Yeah. Really upsetting. And you only ever hear about that secondhand. No one will ever come up to you and go, you're lazy. No. But you can see it when they're talking to you. They think, why don't you just, I can see you, you're sitting there, well, you could just get up now and you could walk. And this is the thing with chronic fatigue is, the last thing I want to say about it is that you can override chronic fatigue. So the body is really good at producing adrenaline. And what will happen is, if I have an emergency or something that I really want to do, I can master that adrenaline, and that will allow me to do that thing, right? Even if I'm feeling exhausted and with this blanket around me, weights on me, adrenaline, as we know, is a good thing.
But if we think about it pictorially, if we use that image that you described about having the weights on you, you could, if you had all these weights attached to you all over your legs, and you had a blanket over your head,
I like the weights
and like say a dog was attacking a child or something, you would still get out of your wheelchair and try and
you would drag your weights, and you would rescue that child,
and you would be able to do that.
And people have superhuman strength, don't they? With adrenaline, they'll rescue people, they'll do things that they can never do before.
But the problem is, you could physically harm yourself, can't you? Like literally, if you had weights on. But I think you can. People with chronic fatigue can injure themselves.
I don't know the science behind this, but post-exertional malaise is a thing. It comes with chronic fatigue. And what happens is, if I muster that energy, I know for the next 2 days afterwards, I'll be out of the game. Like literally out of the game. It's called post-exertional malaise. It's basically you're exhausted, and you're paying for that brief moment of adrenaline that allowed you to do something. So you have to be really sparing and very wise in the way that you expend that energy. So
I would say to you and our listeners, your listeners, sorry, they're not my listeners.
Can be our listeners, Rachel. You're part of this.
I would say, think about what your phone is like, your battery, your energy battery is like. I would think about what your charger is like, because there might be things that, in general, nothing recharges you, but Do you know what I mean? Does a bath make you feel better? Does a cup of tea, reading a book help you? Although reading's often difficult when you're feeling like that, isn't it? Or just sitting still, or just listening to music, sometimes good because it's quite a passive thing, but you can get enjoyment out of it. And the other thing is, like I said before, just trying to describe. You might want to draw it. You might want to write it down. You might want to look through just pictures online to think if you can find that image. And I think that helps.
How does it help then from a psychiatric point of view? How does it help? I think
it helps you to like have an understanding of yourself and to know your limits. So like to know, you know, which you've talked about lots of time on the pod and in your articles. But the other thing is to be able to describe it, because what you've done just now describing those weights really helps me. And also because my image in my head now is you in a wheelchair, and I always think, oh, he's all right, he's in his wheelchair, but actually you've still got that weighted blanket on your head. That would still be hard to drive a wheelchair with all those weights on your arms and your legs and on your body. So I think and that's helpful for people around you, for your friends and family. So this is how it feels for me, just so you know. Driving a wheel,
that's really. I hadn't thought of it like that. Actually, I haven't thought about from other people's point of view, helping it to people to understand. And you're right. Like driving a wheelchair is great physically. From a physical point of view, it saves that energy. But you still make decisions not to run people over. Yeah. People jump in front of you. People do all kinds of things.
And it's still heavy. It's still heavy on your body.
You're still mentally heavy. And I guess the last thing mentally it does to you is it's so heavy. I'm incapable of multitasking in my head. Like, so if somebody's talking to me, and this happens often in our family situation, teenagers will talk to me, the other teenager talk to me, you may be asking me something, emotionally I have to shut down. I cannot cope with that anymore. I used to be able to cope with it. I used to hold all these things in the head because normally we can, right? And I know you've said before, multitasking is not actually good for you. You're supposed to be focused on one thing at a time. But what happens is, if I'm forced to try and engage with two things at once, everything shuts down and that's it. I'm gone. I can't raise my game again. My battery, gone. Can't do it.
It's hard, isn't it?
So if you're listening and you can identify with some of this, that's what I hope. I hope that you can feel like you're not alone with it, because and I found it useful, our chat, Rachel. I hope you found it useful as well. Go back, listen to past episodes as well. They're all framed as questions, my episodes. I think I did it on the first two and then I got into it. And I feel like it's a quirky way of naming your episodes. I don't know what I'll call this one yet, but you'll see, because you've already downloaded it and will be listening to it. But it'll be something around the lines of, are you still tired? Or something like that. And I think, know that people can't possibly understand unless you convey it. And I know for a fact, I have periods of feeling really down about it, and I feel like lonely, don't I? I feel like nobody understands, and I've got you, I've got my kids, my adult and teenage kids who do get it. But even I feel lonely with it sometimes because nobody else seems to get it. But sometimes that's our fault because we don't really try to describe it in the best way possible. And you've inspired me to try and communicate a bit more how it feels in terms of metaphors. So thank you, Rachel. I will try that. And let me know as well. We always appreciate comments. If you go to lifelongcovid.co.uk, you'll see the articles. You can comment on them. And I love hearing from you. You can message me. You can email me. All the contact details are there, because it's not just a podcast. This is a community. And we're all in this together. And until medical science catches up, until medical professionals decide to recognise it, that's all we've got. We've got each other, and together we can help one another. So thanks for listening to this episode. I'll see you again next week. Weekly Friday episodes now throughout the autumn and the winter. See you soon.